What's up guys, it's Monj18 or Ian here. Welcome back to another weekly predictions. If you didn't go check out last week's predictions, go check them out. I'm going to be recapping them here. But if you wanted to know why I predicted each of them, then you can go back to last week, which should be in the card right about here. So let's get into the first recap of last week. We're going to talk about G2 Rogue. A lot of people really expected this to be a really one-sided match. A lot of people thought, oh, G2 are just going to come out and crush Rogue. But Rogue actually came out and won 2 of the games. They didn't end up beating them. G2 came out on top in a Game 5 overtime, pretty much as they always do when they get to Game 5s, and especially Game 5 overtimes. They just absolutely destroyed Rogue, holding a lot of possession for the games that they won. But when they didn't look good, they looked horrible. So G2 come out on top, and this grudge match is closed. The next match we're going to be talking about is Evil Geniuses versus Space Station Gaming. Everyone thought this was going to be a very one-sided match with Evil Geniuses coming out on top, as did I, as you can see by my predictions. I expected Space Station Gaming to win a game, but they came out and absolutely destroyed Evil Geniuses. They beat them 3-0 and never really let Evil Geniuses get anything going. I do think Space Station Gaming is another team that I have underestimated. Week by week, I talk about how I underestimate Space Station Gaming. First, before even week 1, I said, you know what? I don't think they're going to be a very good team. And then after week 1, I went, you know what? They're going to be a decent team. Going into week 2, I expected them to be around the 6th position. Now, going into week 3, I think that they can easily make a break for the top 4, and you guys can hear all of my predictions in the future. I will be talking about the regional playoffs to see actually who gets to LAN, so we will be talking about all that in the future, and I do think this is a heavily potential matchup for the 4th, 5th seed going into LAN. Next, we're going to be talking about the last match from NA of the day, the grudge match. G2 kind of had 2 grudge matches this week against their old teammate in Kronovi and then Chicago's old team in EG. EG got absolutely destroyed by Space Station Gaming, so there wasn't a lot of hope for them, and G2 came out and just curb stomped them 3-1 and ended it. Chicago got the better roster move and definitely deserves to be on G2. As you guys have probably known if you watched any of the broadcasts, we had a crazy amount of sweeps. 7 out of the 10 matches were sweeps last week. So we are going to be talking about the first match on the European side, which was a sweep. FC Barcelona versus Vitality. A lot of people had FC Barcelona coming out on top because last week, week 1, they absolutely came out and destroyed Dignitas 3-1. No one expected them to beat Dignitas, but they did. Now playing Vitality, everyone thought they took it to Dignitas, they're going to take it to Vitality, but Vitality comes out and 3-0s them. I'm pretty sure Vitality is the #1 seed in Europe, coming out of league play now. The only rough matchup they have now are TSM. The craziest match across both regions was definitely match 2 from Europe, Dignitas versus PSG. Everyone expected Dignitas to come out, really redeem themselves for dropping to FC Barcelona last week, and PSG came out and took it to them. They swept them, absolutely destroyed them. I do not know how Dignitas is going to make a comeback from this. I'm just really hoping at this point that Dignitas can pull something through, maybe steal the 5th or 6th seed, and maybe win a playoff game to get to LAN. But right now, if I was them, I would just be hoping to be into RLCS Season 8 League play. My upset of the week last week was Mouse Sports versus the Bricks. I was really worried because, as you know, I'm a huge fan of the Bricks, and I went against them, which I really shouldn't do. Mouse Sports came out during week 1 and beat Triple Trouble, where the Bricks came out in week 1 and lost to Triple Trouble. A lot of people were really worried because Speed playing from NA does kind of relieve some of the issues that they had because he wasn't playing as well, he wasn't playing as good, but it also creates a little bit of more issues, like maybe there's a team divide. Maybe they're a little upset at Speed for going on vacation. Maybe they just don't get as much scrim time going into week 2 and they drop to Mouse Sports. I was under the impression that they were going to drop to Mouse Sports, as Mouse Sports showed that they had pretty good control over the Triple Trouble match, and everyone pretty much thought that the Bricks were going to have just a terrible season and go down to the promotion relegation. They beat Mouse Sports, which is a good start, and they need to continue to beat people if they want to be playing well this season. Everyone thought that this was going to go to Mouse Sports, and I can wholeheartedly say that the Bricks put their troubles aside, they scrimmed hard for the time they had available, and they ended up coming out on top because of it. I'm really happy for the Bricks, and I'm really hoping that they can continue this trend. The final match of the week, you guys actually predicted right. If you would have asked me last week, 2 weeks ago, who would win between Dignitas and Vitality, I would have told you Dignitas with 100% certainty. Dignitas played over the offseason against Vitality and beat them on several occasions. Dignitas was just looking very good. But after their loss against PSG, I guess a lot of you thought that Dignitas was going to end up losing because they did. They lost hard. Vitality came out, absolutely destroyed them 3-0. Vitality went 6-0 on the week against the two strongest teams in Europe, maybe omitting TSM. A lot of people really thought that they were going to win and that Dignitas was going to kind of redeem themselves going into the week, but when they lost to PSG, especially in a sweep, everyone knew it was downhill, and that's why you guys voted 100% for Team Vitality, and I'm very thankful for you, and I'm sure you're thankful for yourselves, so you can get that Steam gift card. If you want to know the details of the giveaway, make sure to stay until the end of the video. Alright guys, let's start this week's predictions. So first we have NRG versus Space Station Gaming. This is going to be the first of many extremely boring games from North America. You know that I'll be watching because I love North American Rocket League, especially the pro scene. But if any of you guys don't want to watch a week, I think this would be the week. Look at all those standings. I mean, NRG Space Station, Cloud9, G2, Cloud9, NRG again. All the top teams are playing very decent teams, I'm not gonna lie, looking like alright teams, but just not top form. So, I'm just gonna start off my boring picks of NA, again, North America, NRG versus Space Station Gaming. NRG's coming on top, that's my lock pick of the week. Next, we have Splice versus Rogue. Honestly, this is my only exciting matchup of the week. If you look at all the other matchups, they're going to be boring. I'm not going to count anyone out. There could be an upset from an EG who has 2 matches, from a Rogue who has 2 matches. Something crazy could happen, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty boring week. But if you're going to watch one match from all of Saturday, this is definitely the one. I am very unsure of who is going to win. But Rogue looking halfway decent, and honestly, I think Rogue is a better team than Splice. I just have a little bit more faith in Wonder AJ Kronovi. Kronovi, obviously the living legend, didn't come out on top last week, but you know what? That's never stopped him before. He is an absolute Rocket League talent. I think he's one of the greatest of all time. I think he can definitely lead this team, along with the experience of AJ and Wonder being in RLCS before. I do think that they can do it. Cloud9 versus EG, another boring match. I'm just going to say it. I have Cloud9. Cloud9 showed up last week. Everyone was like, I don't know about Cloud9. I don't know how good they're going to do. I do believe that NRG is playing a little better than them in Cloud9 series against Splice. I just can't be too sure because they went to 3 overtimes with Splice. They won them all. They came out clutch. They 3-0'd Splice. But you know what, you can't really even look at it like that because the goal differential was only 3 goals. It was just, all the games were so extremely close. One mishap by Cloud9 could have easily lost them a game, and 3 mishaps could have easily lost them the series. I don't want to see it that close. Cloud9, I'm picking over EG, but I'm going to need to see more consistency from them. Just watching last week isn't enough for me. I need to see them show up in their match against EG in week 3, and then I will be convinced that they can challenge NRG for that North American title. Next, we have G2 versus Ghost. I have G2 coming out on top. This is pretty simple. Ghost hasn't been showing up. I think they're a great roster. I think they're absolutely fantastic. A lot of pro teams have been like, you know what, these guys, they're really good. They just haven't been showing up. And when it comes down to it, I don't give a crap how good you are in scrims. I don't care how good you are when you play ranked. I don't care how good you are when you play 6-mans. If you don't show up on the day, then it doesn't matter. You have to show up on the day. Ghost has not been showing up on the day, and you can tell I'm getting a little heated because I'm a huge Ghost fan. I really wanted Ghost to do good. I've been a huge Lethamyr fan pretty much since I've started Rocket League. Lethamyr's kind of always been my guy. I've always been a huge Lethamyr fan, and I don't know. There's just something with him, just season after season. He just can't make the push. They can't push into the upper three. They're always the 4th, 5th, 6th range, and I just need to see more from them. I need them to show up. Pros are telling us that they're showing up in scrims, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you show up in scrims if you do not show up on the day. I want to see it here. I want to see them take down G2, but I just can't put it past them. G2 is a solid roster, hasn't been making a lot of goof-ups. Technically in power rankings, they are the 1st seed. They haven't played a lot of the harder teams yet. We're going to really see G2's new roster getting tested by Cloud9 and NRG in the future. Right now, they're 3-0, which is better than any other North American team. If Ghost can come out and destroy G2, I will get on the Ghost train. I just want to see an upset. I want to see an upset now. I want to see a couple upsets later. I want to see them beating the teams they deserve to beat. And then I want to see them next season keep the roster the same. We all know Lethamyr loves to keep the roster the same. He kept Zane Jackie around for 3-4 seasons. He loves to keep the roster the same, even though they were changing thirds. I just need them to make it to next season, show up next season, and crush everyone. They need a little bit more time, but they need to show it now. Our next match is Cloud9 versus Rogue. This isn't close. Rogue, I predict to have a win earlier in the day. I believe Rogue is going to have a little momentum. I also believe that Cloud9 is a terrific team and Rogue is an average RLCS team in North America. I need to see more from Rogue. It's a little bit of chemistry issues because they haven't been together for a super long time. A little bit of playstyle issues. They need to figure it out. I want to see it. Rogue and Ghost are my two teams. I want to see them succeed so badly, but I can't put it past them because they just aren't doing it. They just aren't winning the matches they need to win. And I think those are two of the underdogs. I think those two teams might get relegated. And I really want to see them come back next season. And I want to see them do good next season. Because these are the two rosters that I truly believe can make it into the upper end of North American Rocket League and the World Rocket League. But they need to show up. They need to start showing up. They need to start playing better. And then I will start predicting them to win matches. Our last match of North America is NRG versus EG. Like I've said, this one isn't going to be close. EG coming off a loss, NRG coming off a win. EG has not been hot. They lost last week. I don't really know how scrims are going and results like that, but I do have NRG beating them here. And let's get right into the European side. Our first match of Europe is Triple Trouble versus PSG. I do believe this is going to be the upset of the week, and that Triple Trouble is going to come out on top. PSG coming out and crushing Dignitas last week. I don't really know how much that says about PSG. PSG, obviously Dignitas is great, but Dignitas just isn't playing good. Dignitas is a great team. They've been showing up in tournaments. They've been showing up everywhere else. But I guess RLCS League play isn't Dignitas' place. Because they aren't showing up. They aren't doing what they need to do. Dignitas need to step it up. I don't know how much of that match last week was Dignitas sucking or PSG doing good. I don't really know. But all I know is that Triple Trouble is a solid team. And I do think that they got swept last week by TSM. But I do think this is my upset of the week because I have to pick one. And I do believe Triple Trouble can come out here and beat PSG. I'll tell you what, if PSG can beat Triple Trouble here, maybe I will be sold again on PSG. But I just can't do it unless they come out here and beat Triple Trouble. Next, we have the Bricks versus Vitality. This is another one of those NA style games. I say NA style because it's not close. The Bricks have looked fine. They've looked decent. They lost against Triple Trouble in week 1. Understandable. Understandable. Speed was playing from North America. Understandable. You have team issues. It happens. They came out last week. They barely beat Mouse Sports. Mouse Sports. They barely beat Mouse Sports. I can't put my money on them beating currently the best European roster. Currently the best European roster. I can't put them even being in the conversation with competing with Vitality. I have Vitality, probably a sweep. I'm not going to lie. Vitality's crushing everyone. No one can even challenge them. Vitality's probably going to just absolutely destroy them here. Next, we have the fan vote. TSM versus FC Barcelona. I have both these guys at the 2nd and 3rd seed. I do believe that Vitality is the best team, as you just heard my huge rant on it. But I do believe that TSM and FC Barcelona are coming out in the 2nd and 3rd seeds. We haven't seen TSM do a ton of work. We've just seen them beating up on the lower rosters. Right now, their wins have been against Mouse Sports and TSM. They're currently 5-1 on games, which is pretty good, but I just haven't seen a ton from them. And then FC Barcelona playing absolutely great, coming out crushing Dignitas week 1. They got crushed last week by Vitality, but that doesn't show a ton about them. I still do believe that they're the 2nd or the 3rd best team, but I do think there is a bit of a jump. I think it's more like Vitality than like Barcelona and TSM, and then a bunch of others, and we'll get all into that later as I do my updated rankings video. Our next match of the week is Dignitas versus Mouse Sports. I have Dignitas winning, and I damn hope they do. I damn hope they do, because if they don't, I don't know what happened. If you asked me who I think the greatest Rocket League player of all time is right now, I would tell you Turbo Pulsa. He's a 3-time champ. He has won LANs with 3 different teams, Northern Gaming, Dignitas, and then the new Dignitas roster, cut Kate up at Yukio. They won DreamHack. He is phenomenal. He is a sensational player, and I don't know what is going on with him or what is going on with his team, but I really hope that this is the rebound week. This has got to be the rebound week. They have to come out. They have to beat Mouse Sports convincingly. Convincingly. They have to beat them. They have to come out. They have to 3-0 them. 11 goals to 0. This needs to be a shutout. We need to stop talking about how bad Dignitas is playing. Dignitas, you need to shape up. You need to play better. And I don't want to hear any excuses. Our next match of the week is Bricks versus PSG. I really have no idea how the hell this match is going to go. I have both these teams very average. I would say they're average European teams. They'll make RLCS Season 8. Maybe the Bricks will get relegated. But I both believe that they will make RLCS Season 8. And I believe that they might make a comeback next season if they can get their shit together. But I really don't know what's going to happen. I have the Bricks here. But the Bricks have lost. I don't even want to talk about the Bricks. You guys, if you forgot what I said about the Bricks, go previous in the video to when I talked about them talking about Vitality. The Bricks need to shape it up. PSG needs to shape it up. But until then, I'm just picking the Bricks and hoping to hell that I get it right. Because I really have no idea with either of these two teams. So inconsistent. It's a pain in my ass to try to predict this match. It is so horrible. I need to see more. Both of these teams are kind of my dark horses. I need to see these teams pick it up. And our last match of the week is TSM versus Vitality. I do believe this is going to be a good match. And I don't know who's going to win Vitality or TSM. I do have Vitality here. I don't know who you guys are going to pick, TSM or FC Barcelona. But I nearly certain that Vitality is going to be coming off a win earlier in the day. Obviously not as warm because there's a good 2-3 hours in between their two matches. But I do believe that TSM will be coming off of a really close series. But again, there still will be about 2 hours of downtime. So I do believe this is going to be Vitality, guys. I'm super excited for this next week. I'm kind of frustrated with Europe because I don't know what predictions are happening. NA, there's been 10 matches. I think I'm like 8-2. I've gotten half the matches wrong in Europe. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to predict these guys. But I guess that's kind of what Europe is for, right? Just ruining predictors and prediction people's day. We don't know how to analyze them because they're extremely inconsistent. And then you have teams like Dignitas who are on top of the world for 2.5 seasons, and now they've fallen off the earth. The earth is flat. They sailed off. They're done. So I'm just really hoping that Europe starts getting some consistency and they start figuring out what's going on because I'm extremely confused. Make sure to follow my Twitter. Make sure to follow my Twitch. Make sure to subscribe in YouTube. Make sure that you go back or you click right up here and you vote for the viewer vote. Who do you have, TSM or FC Barcelona? Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next week. Peace out.